Okay, well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I've got the time as 5 o'clock, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody. It's really nice to have you here again with us this Thursday afternoon. We're going to carry on with financial maths. Last time that we were together on Tuesday, we were talking about compound interest and how interest can be compounded more frequently than just once a year, and that we can expect this now going forward. Well, that was in grade 11, but certainly in grade 12, where we are now. Then the other thing that we spoke about, just very briefly, because it was the end of the lesson, was reducing balance depreciation. And I just want to go through that again very quickly and show you a couple of examples, because both compound interest and reducing balance depreciation are things that are asked in matric. And the matric financial maths with future value and present value is actually very difficult. So, you know, these are our marks, certainly on compound interest and reducing balance depreciation. Those are sort of our level 1, level 2 questions that we should all be able to get right. Okay, and then if we've got time today, I'm going to see if we can get into using logs to solve for n. Before I get started, I just want to know, has everybody done financial maths at school? Could you just pop something into the chat for me and either say yes or no? So yes, you have done it, or no, you haven't. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Liam. Thanks, Shanice, Emile. Okay, so most of you that are responding are saying, thank you, Marco. Okay, so yes, you have done it. Okay. Perfect. All right, because this is not supposed to be something that you're hearing for the first time. This is supposed to be revision and remediation. Okay, so just to remind you again about our formula. Okay, I haven't got the matric formulae on here, but just a reminder about the grade 11 formulae that we will be using. So first of all, we have simple interest, which I have never seen asked in a matric paper, but you never know. Compound interest, very, very important for us. We do get asked that, definitely. This, I think I showed you the last time, how you could work out P, but you don't have to remember that formula won't be on your formula sheet. This formula will also be on your formula sheet. This is linear depreciation. And of course, this is reducing balance depreciation, another one that's really important, definitely will be asked, or definitely could be asked. We need to make sure that we know this. This formula over here is also an important formula, but it's not on your formula sheet. And it allows you to calculate a nominal rate if given an effective one, or how you would calculate an effective rate if given a nominal one. I'm not going to talk about that today, but if there is time, I will come back and speak about that as well. But that was more something in grade 11, but it can be asked in grade 12. Okay, so remember, when something depreciates, what's happening is that it is losing value over time. Okay, so in the example over here, the value of a car, it is depreciating over a period of time. And you can see as more time goes by, in the beginning, the depreciation is quite steep. And then as time goes by, it kind of starts to sort of level out a little bit. And that's why people say it's always a good idea to buy a secondhand car rather than a brand new one, because you're not the one incurring that huge expense to buy it and then losing so much money as soon as you drive it literally off the showroom floor. Okay, so the formula for calculating reducing balance depreciation, we've just had a look at that. Remember, A is the book or the scrap value, P is the present value, I is your depreciation rate, and N is your time period. So they can literally ask you to calculate any one of those 4 things if given the other one. Time period, how to calculate that, we would obviously need to use logs, but that's something that we'll talk about hopefully to the end of this lesson. Okay, that was the example that we did the other day. So just running through it again, it's just really, really straightforward. I just thought I'd leave it here. Joshua wants to sell his car in 5 years' time. The rate of depreciation is 14% per annum. and the car's value is 60,000. Calculate the book value or scrap value. In other words, calculate A of the car in 5 years' time if depreciation is based on. And we just spoke about the reducing balance method. So we've just subbed into the reducing balance formula and calculated the answer. So we can see there that his car has lost, gosh, more than half of its value, all right, over 5 years. Another sort of question that they could ask you is something like this. Calculate the original price of a computer if its depreciated value after 7 years is 900 Rand and the rate of depreciation was 12% per annum, calculated using, and then, so either the straight line method or the reducing balance method. So when we read these sorts of questions, it's really important for us to establish what formula we need to use and then try and fit the information into our formula. So in the first case here, we have been given a hint. They have told us that it is the straight line method. So the straight line method of depreciation is A equals P 1. Oh, sorry, I'm writing an I and I meant to write a 1. Let me just fix that. One minus IN. Okay, so you need to just make sure that you recognize that formula. As far as reducing balance is concerned, it's A equals P 1 minus I to the power of N. Okay, so if they want us to calculate the original price of the computer, what letter are they asking us to solve for? A or P or I or N? What do they want from us, Matrix? Exactly, they want P. Good, guys, 100%, they want P. So that means that 900 Rand has to be our A value. So A equals P, 1 minus, our interest rate is 12% per annum. So that's 0.12, and it is depreciating over a period of 7 years. Okay, so now in order to make P the subject to the formula, we're going to take 900 and we are going to divide it by our bracket. And we can work out what our answer is. Okay, so and then you guys are welcome to share answers on the group. That would be great. What are you getting? Let's have a look. So please share your answers on the group once you've got one. Cool, Andiswa. Me too. I'm also getting that as an answer. Yes, Shanice, me too. Lovely. Well done, everybody. Good job. There we go. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for everybody who shared an answer. That's absolutely brilliant. Cool. You've all got the right answer. So that's really nice. Let's see if you can do B by yourselves. All right. And we'll see if we can get the right answer. And we'll check now. Okay. So off you go. Do B on your own. Me too, Juanita. I also got that as an answer. Okay. You're very quick. Well done. All right. So Juanita's posted her answer. That's fine. If you're still busy, don't worry about it. Hopefully you've written that. Yes. Good, Kelebukile. Nice, Kabelo. I got the same. Yeah, me too, Andiswa. All right, so here we worked out that P was going to be equal to 2,202 Rand and 24 cents. Can you see how much more steeply it loses value with the reducing balance depreciation as opposed to the linear depreciation? And that's because of it being exponential. All right, so in other words, when it comes to linear depreciation, it's a straight line with a negative gradient. So in other words, it is, let me just show you what I mean here. So if I draw a horrible set of axes, I beg your pardon, those really are not great. As far as your reducing balance is concerned, that is, let's get a nice color here. Let's try purple. It's going to be that sort of shape. Whereas your linear depreciation is going to end up being, let's get a different color here, we'll use pink. It's going to end up being a, what kind of straight line is that? I don't know, but anyway, it's meant to be a straight line. I wonder if I can draw straight lines. Oh, hang on a second, that would be better, wouldn't it? Let's do this. There we go. That is a much better straight line than mine. Okay, well, let's rub that other horrible thing out that I drew because that's nasty. And let's go with the straight line. Okay, so this pink line over here would represent linear depreciation. You can see how it depreciates much, much faster with reducing balance. Okay, let's move on. We'll go and have a look at the next question. So now here again, this is something that's a little bit different to what we did before. Oh, I see a whole lot of you put answers in the chat. Let me go and have a look. Oh, can you see there? Well, welcome. It's really, really nice to have you here with us. Are we working a little bit too fast, can you see there and Enam? Okay, so Neliswa is here to help you. If you are stuck or you get lost, please refer to her and she'll help you as well. All right. Okay, so next question. We have got a photocopy machine. It costs 40,000 Rand and it has a scrap value of 8,000 Rand after 8 years. Your job now is to determine the annual rate of depreciation. If it is calculated using, again, the straight line method, or B, the reducing balance method. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to work this out yourselves. All right. I'm just going to write the formulae here for you so that you don't have to go hunting for them. So with a straight line, it's A equals P1 minus IN. And here A equals P1 minus I to the power of N. When they talk about finding the annual rate of depreciation, what letter are we solving for, grade 12s? No, Riabilwe, we're not solving for N. We are solving for I. Yes, I. Okay, they want the rate. Okay, the depreciation rate. Okay, so you were going to solve for I. So it means you have to decide what the 40,000 is, what the 8,000 is. You know what N is. They've told you 8 years, and you've got to work out what the interest rate would be. Okay, all right. Everybody go and give that a try. Well, if you've done A, then go ahead and go and do B. If anybody needs extra help and assistance, just direct message either Neliswa or myself. Let's have a look. There we go. Good job. Okay, so just remember to multiply by, okay, really, I didn't get that answer, I'm afraid. We're going to have to see what happened there. But yes, you should have got 10% for the first one. Correct, everybody. 10% for the first one is right. That's nice. Well done. Hopefully you're working on the second one now. I will put the solution to the first one up as well, just so that you guys can see what I've done in case there's anybody who didn't do it and didn't know how. Okay, so you would have said 8,000 equals 40,000. 1 minus I, remember that's what we're calculating, multiplied by 8. Okay, so what we can do here, just to make life a bit easier for ourselves, is knock 3 zeros off there and knock 3 zeros off there. And then this becomes 8 over 40 is equal to, whether the bracket's here or not, I suppose it doesn't make any difference, 1 minus 8i. Right, and then I'm going to bring my 8i over to this side. I'm going to say 1 minus 8 over 40 over here. Okay, and then you would obviously have to subtract 8 over 40 from 1. That would leave you with 4 over 5. And then in order to get I, you would take 4/5 and you would divide it by 8. And that's why you get I is equal to 0,1. Then when you multiply it by 100, that's what gives you the rate. Okay, so 10%. So you mustn't forget to multiply by 100 over here. Okay, everybody happy with that? So let's see what you guys have put in the chat for the second question. Yeah, I got that too. Okay, good job. Well done, everybody. That's really nice. Okay, so Juanita, always to 2 decimal places. Okay. Always to 2 decimal places. Why did I remove the zeros? To make my life easier, Timna. Okay, because if I divide by 1,000 on both sides, I'm doing the same thing to both sides of my equation, aren't I? Does that make sense? Okay, so yeah, I'm just making my life easier. All right, let's go and have a look at the reducing balance one. Okay, so again, something that originally cost 40,000 has depreciated to 8,000 Rand. So 8,000. And 1 minus I to the power of n. All right, and then here, oopsie, I suppose what I should have done here, I'm just being a bit silly, is I should have put in my 8. Okay. So again, Timna, if I want to, I can divide by 1,000 on both sides. It just means I've got smaller numbers to work with. All right, so that's why I've got rid of those zeros over there and those zeros over there. I'm going to divide both sides by 40. So that means I've got 8 over 40, which is going to be equal to 1 minus I to the power of 8. So now, in order to solve, I need to take the 8th root. All right, so in other words, I'm going to do this on both sides. Let me write it in a different color. This is what I'm doing, the opposite operation. So now I've got the 8th root of 8 over 40, and that's going to be equal to 1 minus I. Okay, and again, I want to bring my I over to the other side. So it becomes positive I, and I'm going to take this 1 minus 8th root of 8 over 40 over to the other side. Okay, and when you do that, you end up again with a decimal. I'll just write it out for you so that you can see what it was, just in case there are people who didn't know. And then we put 8/40, or we could also write that as 1/5 if we wanted to. Okay, so here we are getting I is equal to 0,1822 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. And then we times by 100, and that means that our rate of depreciation, goodness me, is certainly very steep, is 18,22%. Okay, all right, let's have a look. Yes, absolutely, Andiswa. Absolutely. It's like dividing by 1,000 on both sides. If you don't want to, then you don't have to, but I just like to make my own life a little bit simpler. Okay, so Kelebogile, where did I lose you? You said, can I please explain again? What do you want me? Yes, Leoborna. The calculation can be done without removing the zeros. What do you want me to explain again, Kelebogile? Sure, no problem. Okay, so don't worry, if you're busy copying this down, don't stress. I'm just going to rub it out, and then I'm going to do it again. Okay, no stress. Okay, so what happens here with this is as follows. Okay, so A is equal to 8,000, right? That's what this photocopy machine is worth after 8 years. The company that bought it originally spent 40,000 Rand on it, okay? So that's quite a lot of money, right? So we want to work out the interest rate. So that's 1 minus I is what we are solving for. And remember, N, okay, is our exponent. It is 8. Okay, so here the difference is this means to the power of 8, doesn't it? All right, so if I say to you, solve this equation, and I say to you, x squared is equal to 400, you do the opposite, which is to take the square root on both sides. All right, and then you end up with an answer that is that's the answer from a square root. So if something has been raised to the power of 8, then if you now want to get back to what the original was, you are now taking the 8th root. All right, so, but before I do that, before I can isolate my base, okay, my base is my bracket, I first have to divide both sides by 40,000 to get my 1 minus I to the power of 8 on its own. So I'm going to divide 8,000 by 40,000. And I'm going to end up with 1 minus I to the power of 8. Okay, so this is where I was knocking the 3 zeros off the end. Actually, I did it before, and that's how come I ended up with 8/40. Or you could put that into your calculator. If you put 8,000 over 40,000 into your calculator, it's going to simplify it to 1/5, and you can work with that too. It's just so much quicker to write 1/5 than it is to write 8,000 over 40,000. Okay, so those sorts of shortcuts we're allowed to make in maths, okay, especially in financial maths over here, right? Anyway, so we've got this 8/40 that's left on the left-hand side, and we've got 1 minus I to the power of 8 on the right. So what I have to do here in order to get the bracket on its own, just like I had to take the square root on both sides here when it was raised to the power of 2, so I need to take this, see how that color works out. I need to take the 8th root. Ooh, can we see that? I don't know. on both sides. Just like I took the square root on both sides, I'm now taking the 8th root on both sides. So what this leaves me with is the 8th root of 8 divided by 40 is equal to 1 minus I. And now I'm going to take that 1 minus I over to the other side. Let's go in here. And this guy is coming over there. So when that happens, I end up with I being equal to 1 minus, because this is a plus on the left, so when it goes over to the other side, it must be a negative, the 8th root of 8 over 40. Okay, and then I can do that on my calculator. So we're going to say 1 minus the 8th root of 8 over 40. And we get this long decimal number 0,1822345566. Goodness me. And then we have to times it by 100 to get the rate. So when we times it by 100, that means that the rate was 18,22%, like so. Okay. Does that feel a little bit better? That's right, non-Claire. Oh, how do you put it in your calculator? Okay, so what you're going to see on your calculator depends on what calculator you've got, but you may have to press the shift button to activate it, right? On your calculator, you may see a writing above one of the buttons on your calculator. And what you are looking for on the calculator is this. Okay, that's what it looks like. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put the 8 over here, and then you're going to go into this thing and you're going to press the fraction button and you're going to put the 8 at the top and you're going to put the 40 at the bottom. Have you found it on your calculator? No, not square root, not square root. Okay, there's a block here that's empty that you have to fill in. Okay, Lesedi. I wonder if I'm just seeing, Mercedes, if I can take a photo of my calculator and let me just see if I can. Neliswa.
Hello.
Hello. Do you have WhatsApp web on your laptop? No,
but you can send it to my email or something. Okay, I can send the photo. I'll figure it out how.
Can you just take a photo of the button?
Yes.
And then okay. Maybe pop it into, I don't know if you can put it into the chat or whatever the case is, and then at least we can show the students where it is. Okay, Anga, you've got a hand up. What would you like to ask?
Hello guys. I'm not gonna ask most. I'm gonna help I forgot her name, but if she wants to put the thing, she must, if she's using a casual calculator, she must press shift. Then there's that button in the third row of buttons. From the right it's number 3. Then she must press over 10. Then the thing there with the square root, it's gonna show. Then she must put her thing is her numbers. Then she's gonna get the answer.
Yeah, you're quite right. Kelebogile, probably on your calculator, maybe it's a little bit different. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna see if I can bring up this picture of my own. Hang on. Let's just have a look here. Just hang tight, guys. And then I'll see if I can get this picture of my own. I've only got a very cheap, normal Casio. I don't have a fancy one at all. Oh gosh. Hang on a second. Where are you? Neliswa. Okay, Neliswa. I'm just.
Can she see my camera like this?
I don't know.
Because it's this button. You have to press shift and this button here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've also here, I've got a picture of my, I'm just going to post it here. There we go. There's my calculator. Okay, Lesedi, can you see my calculator? Okay, so you press shift. So you're going to press, hang on a second, let's just get the draw. You're going to press, okay, you're going to press shift. Okay, and then you're going to press this button over here so that you can activate that little bit over there. And that's what I was trying to say to you is the root button with the block here and the block there. Does that make sense? That's the button you're using. Are we all good now, Lesedi? Okay. Oh, good. Oh. Okay, Mokhari, we are doing reducing balance depreciation, and we're going to go on now and talk about logs. We're just going to check that everybody's cool with this. Okay, all right, hopefully everybody's happy. There we go. There's the picture of the calculator. Thank you, Neliswa, for helping me.
Oh, thank you, ma'am, for taking the time and helping Lesedi. Thank you.
No problem at all. Okay, now I just want to know, how do you guys feel about this section? Is this something that you would like to practice just a little bit more? Or can I move on to logs? I don't know what the best thing to do for you is. Practice a little bit more. Okay, you know what? That's probably not a bad idea. Okay, all right, cool. So here, there are 4 questions, all right? So work from 1 down to number 4, right? And then what I will do is I will, hopefully if there's time, I'll go through the answers to each and every single one of them at the end. Or I can just put the answers up and then we can see if you've got the right things. Okay, so remember, Neliswa and I are here and we will help you. Off you go. Yeah, good. Good, everybody. Nice. Well done, guys. Very good. Everybody that's posted an answer there, you've got things correct. That's really, really positive. Well done. Oh, hang on, we've done that, haven't we? Just looking at number 3. Okay, so we're gonna have to, let's leave that one out. Sorry, I've repeated myself here. We've done that, so we can go on and have a look. Number 4. Yes, Juanita, I get the same answer as you. Oh, very nice, guys. Well done. Indeed, Timna. Yes. And what then? Okay, so yes, Rito Giba. Yes, Imihle. Oh, well done. Good job, everybody. Very nice. I'm super, super impressed. And it's so nice that you're all willing to share your answers. Thank you so much. Yes, Kanisile. Very good. There we go. Cool beans. Nice. Yes, Leroy. Good job. Sepiso, let me check. Yes. Sepiso, I got exactly the same answers. Okay, very nice. Imihle, me too. Also got that for number 4. Yes. Rito, lovely. That's really nice work, guys. Well done. Very good. Okay. And you too, Valerie. That's perfect. Okay, so we should be sort of finishing off on number 4 now. And I just want to spend a little bit of time talking to you about the next thing that we are going to do in financial maths. So I'm just going to move on and do that now. But I do have an entire lesson prepared on this, but I just thought if we are finished, we could get some. Maybe what we should do, hang on a second, before we do that, Melissa, I'm just going to write the answers up here so that everybody has just got access to them. Maybe that's the best thing to do before moving on. Okay, so here in number 1. And here, number 2. last one here was okay, so pretty much everybody should be finished by now. All right, Leroy, I see you've got your hand up. What did you want to ask?
Ma'am, by 1A, I got the
Yes.
same answer, but my answer is 7,951,70. Can you please explain? Maybe I went wrong somewhere.
No. Maybe I went wrong somewhere because I was actually looking at that and I was like, why is the straight line less than the one on the right? Let me just double check my answer. There's a couple of people that are asking for us to do corrections. That's fine. I'm more than happy to do corrections. Just tell me which ones you want me to do in the chat. Okay, I'm just going to double check on my answer for B again. So I could have pressed something funny on the calculator. 1, 2, 3, and that would be 1.
I got the same answer.
Did you get the same answer as me, Neliswa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 79,517 Rand and 1 cent. Yes. Yeah, Leroy, I don't know what you pressed, but I am still getting the same answer that I've written over here.
Mm.
Do you want me to write the question, do the question out in full? Okay, the answers are fine. Thanks, Vasedi. Okay. So I know there's people asking for corrections. Okay, so which one, Enam?
Oh, number 1. A.
Oh, number 1. Number 1A. Okay. All right. So what we were supposed to do here, all right, is we're using the straight line depreciation method. So that means that we've got to use the formula A equals P 1 minus IN, like that. Okay, so if they're asking us what the car is worth after 6 years, they want us to calculate A. So in place of P, we're going to substitute the 160,000, and then we're going to write 1 minus, and our interest rate, remember we've got to divide it by 100, and then times it by N. Okay, so times by 6. You pop that into your calculator, and then you get 54,400. Okay, is that better? Okay, 3B. We've SSBLA, we've done number 3. Okay, so number 3 was actually the same as this question up here about the photocopier. So we've done that. Okay, that's why I said you don't have to worry about doing it again. We've done that one. Unless you do want me to do that same question. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah. Anybody want me to do anything else?
Oh, 1B.
1B, okay. All right, so in 1B, this is now the reducing balance method. So here, we're using this formula, A equals P 1 minus I to the power of N. Okay, so it's going to be 160,000 is still going to be our P value. 1 minus 0,11, and now it's to the power of 6. Okay, so when you put that into your calculator, I know when I do, certainly I end up with this answer, 79,517 Rand and 1 cent. Okay, yes. Okay, there we go. Non-Claire, Nalisa has told you. Yeah, all of these are recorded, and then you can go back and watch them again at a later stage if you want to. Okay, is there anything else that you guys want me to do?
Oh, they asked for number 4.
Number 4 as well, sure. Okay, so let's have a look at number 4. Okay, so in question number 4, it tells us the motor vehicle currently has a book value of 6,000 Rand. Okay, so remember, book value or scrap value is our A value. That's what it's worth after it has depreciated. So that's the A value. The rate of depreciation was 14% per annum using the reducing balance method. So we have to use the formula A equals P, 1 minus I to the power of n. You must learn that, okay, that is the formula for the reducing balance method. Interest rate is 14%, and that's raised to the power of 5. Yes, Inam, I see you've got your hand up. What would you like to ask?
Hello, ma'am. I wanted to find out if it's possible. I don't know, I'm still new, but I have a suggestion. If it's possible, can we like have a chat group? And because I feel like as much as you are willing to help in the direct messages if you don't understand, but like I feel like if maybe you would send us the questions before, because we don't have I understand why like it's sort of moving fast and everything because we don't have enough time. But I was hoping maybe if it's possible, we can create a WhatsApp chat group where you can like maybe 30 minutes before the actual lesson where you can send us what we're going to be doing for that day so that we sort of go through the questions and then, yeah, maybe even attempt them. And then if we don't understand something, and then we'll
okay, that's fine. What it will have to do is I will have to speak to the people that run the company, because obviously I'm just a teacher. I'm not part of the management structure or anything like that. And I can certainly ask them if we can do something like that. Okay, so I will put that forward to them as soon as we finish teaching. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem, Enam. Okay, so we've now subbed in our A value of 6,000. P is what we want to calculate because P was the original price of the motor vehicle, is equal to 1 minus I. So I'm subbing in 1 minus 0.14 because that was my interest rate to the power of 5. Now I want to make P the subject of the formula. So I'm dividing both sides by the bracket. Okay, and that's why I've got 6,000 over 1 minus 0.14 to the power of 5. Okay. And then when you pop that into your calculator, you're going to end up with that same answer that I had over there. All right, which was the 12,754 Rand and 37 cents. Number after 6 is 9, so we have to round off. Yes, you must always round correctly to 2 decimal places. Okay, so you're always looking at the third place. And if there is a 5 and above in the third place, it's going to round the number in front of it up by 1. If it's a 4 or number smaller than 4, then the number in the second decimal place is going to stay the same.